Okay, so in Isaiah in chapter 42, verses 6 to 13 says, it says, "For the Lord have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thy hand, and will keep thee, and gather thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles, to open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. I am the Lord, that is my name, and my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise from the end of the earth. That from the end of the earth, ye that go down to the sea, and all that is therein, the isles and the inhabitations thereof. Let the wilderness and the cities thereof lift up their voice, the village that cedar doeth inhabit. Let the habitations of the rock sing. Let them shout from the top of the mountains. Let them give glory unto the Lord, and declare his praise in the land. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yes, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. And also, we're going to read in the book of Deuteronomy. I think that this is so good because I'm learning a lot and you're learning a lot. And I know right now I'm just reading, but we're going to discuss it after a while. Um, so, in the book of Deuteronomy, in verse 32, book of Deuteronomy in chapter 32 and verse 10 through 12, it says, "He found him in a desert land, and in the waste, howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye. As an eagle stirred up her nest, fluttered over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taking them, buried them on her wings. So the Lord alone did lead them, and there was no strange God with him. He made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields, and he made him to suck honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinting rock." And then we're going to go back to Isaiah. We're going to, no, I'm sorry. Um, there was Yeah, we're going to go back to Isaiah in chapter 49, this time in verse 16. And it says, being in the palms of God's hand, behold, I have graven thee upon the palms of my hands. The, thy walls are continually before me. I think that now we're gonna now we're gonna go over into First Samuel, and we're gonna talk about God's heart. We've been discussing about we've been we've been reading about God's eye. Now we're gonna talk about God's heart. Okay, we're gonna read about it. Then we're gonna discuss these things, as I stated before. So we're gonna read them, then we're gonna discuss them, so that we can get a clearer understanding. Because it's one thing to read it, but it's another thing when you actually get a chance to understand it. So that's what we're gonna do. So First Samuel in chapter 13 and verse 14 says, but now thy kingdom shall not continue. The Lord have sought him a man after his own heart, and the Lord have commanded him to be captain over his people, because thou hast not kept that which the Lord commanded thee. And then we're going to go over to the book of Acts. And we're going to read Acts chapter 13 in verse 22. Some chapters may some chapters and verses may have a little bit more than others, but we're gonna read this because you need this. I need this. You need this. We need this together. So in Acts chapter 13 and verse 22 says, when when he had and when yeah okay and when he had removed him, he raised up unto them David to be their king, to whom also he gave testimony, and said, I have found David the son of Jesse, a man after my own heart, which shall fulfill all my will. And then we're going to go to, we're almost done. I know it may not seem like it, but we are almost there. Like, but we're reading the Word of God, so we don't have to rush because we're reading the Word of God. Okay. 2 Corinthians, though, in chapter 5 and verse 13, and it says, for whether we be beside ourselves, it is to God, or whether we be sober, it is for your cause. And in 1 Corinthians, it says, in chapter 2 and verse 16, says, it says, for who have known of the Lord, that he may instruct him, but we have the mind of Christ. And in Proverbs 15 and 3, okay, Proverbs 15 and 3, That's chapter 15 and verse 3. And it says,